Well, today we're going to feature the great vintage in 2009, which is the vintage that's arriving this year. So we've got 5 2009s from the left bank of Bordeaux, and then we have one from the right bank from the commune of Blaye. And our 2 older wines are from 1997 and 1995. Should I go through the wine?
Yeah, let's go through them.
For you? So the first wine we're going to taste today actually is in the fridge, and that is Chateau Saint-Jean-de-Grave from the Entrée du Mer. Don't have it right here, but it's a really nice, brisk, crisp white, which will go well with our very warm weather out here today, probably going to be about 85 degrees. So we're going to start today's tasting with the second wine of one of my favorite chateaus, of which I own many vintages, and this is the second wine of Chateau Peugeot from Mouly. The 09 vintage is very spectacular, and I recommend it to everybody, young, middle-aged, and old. It's got something for everybody. Tremendous ripeness, perfect weather, makes perfect wines. And that's what you have with these 09s. Chateau Beaumont is made by the winemaking team at Chateau Béchevel. And I've been using this wine in seminars and classes for over 20 years here. Incredible consistency, great value wine from Bordeaux at $20. Chateau Séguin is from Pessac-Léognan, and this is the first time that we've bought this wine. It's a wine that's been very highly touted by Robert Parker as one of the sleeper wines in Bordeaux today, and I tasted the wine a few minutes ago. Textbook Grave wine, little earthy, lots of ripe fruit, very, very nice. Next will be Chateau Puget from the commune of Margaux. This is a very small, 4th growth, just makes about 4,000 cases of wine. It's the first time that we've carried this wine here, ever at K&L, and it's in a new bottle, new packaging. Looks a little like the Aubryon bottle, and that wine's from Margaux. Tour de Longueville is the second wine of Chateau Pichon Longueville Baron. I love this estate also. Had the same winemaker for the last 25 years, Jean-René Matagon. He makes phenomenal wine. You always want to remember that in the great vintages, you want to buy the second wines and drink them younger, because in a vintage like 09, it's all good. The first wine is spectacular. That needs a lot of time. The Tourelles will drink well from the 5, 10, 15-year range. And classic Pauillac, big, fantastic wine. We go to the right bank for our only really Merlot-based wine. It's the Chateau Roc de Caen from the commune of Bourg, which is right next to Blaye on the right bank. Not a tremendous amount of famous wines from this area, but this wine is made by and owned by the same family that owns the Tertre-Rodenboeuf. And this guy is just an intense guy. He'll talk to you all day about his wines. We love tasting there, but we never have enough time to listen to everything he has to say. He makes great wine, small production. You ever see the wine? It's not available everywhere. Make sure you give it a try. Our 2 older wines today are Médoc wines. Chateau Potensac is from the vintage in 1997, which was not a good vintage, but a testament to the great winemaking in Bordeaux today. This wine is made and owned by the immaculate winemaking team from Chateau Léoville-Lascaz. Very powerful wine. I've only been to this property once. It's in the upper Médoc, above the commune de Saint-Estèphe, in a little commune called Saint-Christoly. And this wine ages very well. I have many, many vintages in my cellar of this wine. It's one of the greatest values in Bordeaux for very serious long-aging wine. The last red for us today is from the great vintage of 1995, which after 16 years is still exceptionally fresh and just starting to come into its own. This wine is made by the immaculate winemaking team from the great Lynch Bage. I like to call it baby Lynch Bage because I've had vintages of this, 1989 in particular, where the wine was so good it was almost no different than Lynch Bage. So great winemaking, great drinkability. This is always one of the top recommendations to all my customers that want great value, because you can buy this wine in the 09 vintage and the 10 vintage for under $40. Fantastic wine. 2 sauternes today, which is a little unusual for us, but we have 2 great producers here. And you won't see it right on the bottle, but Chateau Aux Carmes is actually 100% declassified Chateau Yquem, which is sold only to one negociant and bottled under this label. Fantastic value. 09 is a great vintage. This is $20 Sauternes, and we don't really push the fact that it's Yquem, but it is. The last wine is from the great vintage of 2007, and this is the second wine of my favorite chateau from the Sauternes/Barsac region, and that's Chateau Clément. Elegant, delicious in every vintage. I have numerous vintages of this in my wine collection, and so we pour two different great vintages of second wine at the end of the tasting. It should be a great afternoon. I hope you can join me.
Go for it.
So I would invite you to feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions or you'd like advice on the wines of Bordeaux. It's my passion. I've been there 45 times in 20 years, and probably at this point in time have tasted over 50,000 wines there in Bordeaux alone. So don't be intimidated by the subject. It's still Merlot and Cabernet Franc, just grown in a lot different atmosphere than the Napa Valley. Pleasure to help you.